We're talking about this because there has been a sharp fall in the number of drivers getting points for using a mobile phone at the wheel. Figures show that last year 73,000 fixed penalties were issued, down almost 25% on the previous year. Joseph Kotrie-Monson is a specialist in motoring offences at the criminal defence firm Kotrie-Monson Solicitors. Good morning, Joseph.
Good morning.
So less penalty notices are being issued to drivers as more are attending awareness courses. Where do you heard Pat there was confused about punishment versus education. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, you've already given us kindly one of the arguments in favour of more education, and that's that probably most people don't realise when they're trotting along in their cars, drinking their coffee and thinking about God knows what and listening to Three Counties radio all at the same time, that in fact they're driving something that's a lethal weapon. And being distracted, of course, behind the wheel, it's a dangerous thing. People do need more education, whether that comes through TV adverts like we've had with drink driving, or whether it comes with an awareness course for people who've committed their first offence. Well, I think the key point is whether it's a deterrent or education, if it works to stop this type of offence happening, then it should happen. I have to say, though, there's probably an ulterior financial motive on the part of the government as far as making sure these are diverted to courses, because if you take something to court, it costs the state money, and of course, although there can be legal costs associated with that for the offender, the reality is if you divert somebody onto one of these courses, they're paying this expensive course all on their own. They still pay the fine, so you get that money too. So as a government, it's quite attractive. So perhaps that's part of the, in this time of austerity, when governments are trying in every way, and government departments in every way are trying to economise on costs, maybe that's part of the motivation too. I say, well, whatever works to reduce offending.
Is there any evidence that it's actually these courses are the thing that's reducing the number of penalty notices issued, or is it just that the police, they've kind of taken their eye off the ball a bit?
Well, I mean, as always with government, the ins and outs of the workings of the minds of civil servants are fairly inscrutable to Joe Public. So, for example, when this law came in the first place, when the driving while using a mobile phone or a handheld device came in the first place, it was actually brought in on the basis of no evidence as to the amount of accidents it was causing. There was a popular consensus that it was dangerous, but if you're asking me to speculate on the ins and outs of Whitehall's thought processes, then I'm sorry, you've come to the wrong lawyer. I'm just not that well connected.
Joseph, I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much indeed. Joseph Kotrie from the criminal defence firm Kotrie-Monson Solicitors.